like 400 to 500 tickets, which I'm keeping up with that.
Yes. Can I
I'm
have a box?
good.
Can I have a box as well?
I think I'm gonna finish mine. What time is it, by the way?
1:30.
Oh, we're doing real good. We're doing real good. So anyways, I'm keeping up with that. But at the end of the semester in May, we want to like take those kids over to main event and let them do the whole shebang. The arcade, the bowling, get something to eat while we're there. The laser tag, that's like a
They
big
always
package.
talk about that.
Oh,
They'll
it's
be like,
so much
they'll be like,
fun.
are we going to main event? Is that our field trip?
It
I'm
is
like,
so
no.
much fun. It
Yeah,
is.
and we have to do it like the last time we took them, they weren't able to do the laser tag or the what is the other thing, the rope thing.
The rope thing, we don't have enough time.
Yeah, we didn't have enough time.
Not during the school year.
This will be a real treat for these kids.
Now, we had talked about doing like, once you get 100 tickets, we'll give you a bag of Takis. However, I am thinking they already get incentives for Edmonton, and then they get to go to the ticket store, and then they're going to get to go to main event. So I'm thinking, let's just do it to where they get an incentive when they're halfway.
Okay.
Halfway. I just haven't figured out what that is yet. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very
This
much.
is delicious. So.
Yes, thank
And do
you.
we want any dessert today?
Mm-mm. Not me.
Separate checks?
Okay, one. And
What desserts do they have?
well, so keep this in mind. When I go get the Tracy and Isaiah, I'm gonna run them
yeah.
through Smoothie King, and so if y'all want to ride with me, you can get a smoothie if you want.
Thank you.
You don't like smoothies?
I don't like smoothie king smoothies.
Oh, you don't? Why not?
They just don't taste like the fruit
The
that's
real
put in
thing?
it. Yeah.
Oh, well, we don't have to go through there. We could go through Chick-fil-A and get something from Chick-fil-A. I just thought,
Oh, if you want to go through Chick-fil-A and get a milkshake, that would be great.
I don't see a reason why we couldn't.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So what I was saying was when they get halfway, like when they get 200 tickets accumulated, then we could do something special for them. I just haven't thought of what it is.
I'm really thinking of like 500. Can we make it 500? Because I'm thinking that, well, I don't know. With the way the weather is going. And
Thank you, dear. I will
So
tell
maybe
you.
400 might be best.
I will tell you. Last week when I was doing the tickets, I was like, we might have to like lower that standard.
Well, and I forgot to send you mine, so that was on me. And then I'll get there, but I'm so, like last week I was
Take
so
your time.
bad about doing tickets.
Take your time.
And I was
okay.
like, and I would give like a lot of students, like Jacoby was doing stuff for me all one day during SAC. And I was like, okay, I'll give you blah, blah, blah tickets. And then I'll have my paper out, and then I'm like, wait, who did I say I get a ticket to? So
Yeah.
then I'd forget.
Yeah.
But-
and it has to, you have to take your time and get to the point where you have a natural feel. Now,
Yeah, definitely.
I'll say I'm struggling with getting on this whole contract thing.
Yeah.
So you know what we said? First time is verbal warning.
Yeah.
Second time is removal from free time or whatever.
Yeah.
Third time is this. I can't remember.
I can't either.
Like we're in program. It doesn't feel natural yet.
Yeah.
And I don't think, and it's definitely not going to feel natural for you guys because y'all haven't even, y'all are
Yeah.
still thinking on tickets,
Yeah.
And so I'm struggling with that right now.
Like I think I told Lenny like 30 times to go sit next
I
to him.
know.
And Lamarcus. And that's the thing, Brittany, like when you've got both of them together,
It
I
is know.
so hard.
We can't, there's nowhere else to put him. I mean,
Oh my gosh.
I gotta-
it is like insane.
now Lenny is on his second suspension.
Okay.
Lenny's got one more, and then if he gets suspended again before May, he's out.
Have you talked to his mom?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
she knows.
Yeah, but is she okay? Because like she seemed a little bit perturbed when I told her. Like I didn't realize that Lenny had been suspended. I knew about Marcus.
Well,
She seemed pretty perturbed when I told her like how Marcus was behaving. And I love those
Well, I
kids.
hope that she is. I hope she is perturbed because it's like the thing is like Lenny got suspended the first time for running out of the classroom, and we said we're not playing around with that.
Yeah.
He said, now the other night when he ran out from the gym, that was a little bit of a different situation. People were making fun of him, and he
Yeah.
was running to get comfort.
Yeah.
Now the other times he's been suspended, it's because like he ran out because he didn't want to do what we said to do.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't fly.
Right.
So, anyways, I hope she is perturbed. Because if she is perturbed, then maybe she'll.
I'm just worried she's going to pull her kids because she's got that one son we cannot fit in, and I really wish we could though.
Wish we could what?
Fit him in because from what she
Oh,
said,
the
like,
older son.
Yeah.
Okay, I do too. I wish we could, but I mean, we are at cap right now. Now, if Joseph and Jeremiah had to come back, we probably could have accepted him,
Yeah.
but they came back. So it's like,
Okay, so what about Kimani?
their folks have not contacted me to let me know when this whole 2-day thing is going to end, and so I've got to let them know. I'm glad you said that because I gave them. Well, when did I tell you that I texted them?
Oh gosh, I don't remember.
Is it Wednesday?
I don't know.
Is it Wednesday? So they've had a whole week to respond.
Yeah.
So Madeline and Piero, what we normally say is like they've got to attend at least 3 times a week and at least until 5 o'clock. Because we have 17 kids on a waiting list.
Yeah.
And these are kids that like really want to come like every day. So, I mean, we've got to enforce this. And Kimani right now is doing like a club, which is good. We want to encourage that.
Yeah.
But what Matt was saying was most of the time the clubs that they do at the school is like a 5-week program. That's fine. We can bend for that. But right now, this has been like since, when was that? October?
Yeah.
October?
I think that's right.
So we can't just be doing this every week. We just can't because there's kids that want in. So if Kimani goes out, we could take her. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So maybe, I hope we can. But if she pulls her kids, I mean, they have to know.
Oh yeah.
They have to know that this is the deal.
I totally agree, but and you know how I get attached to these kids because like I love them so much, and I was so glad when LaMarcus came back. But at the same time, it's like having both of them in the same classroom
It's hard.
a nightmare.
I understand.
It's a nightmare.
We couldn't move either one of them up.
No, not at all.
Well, if like one of them was like really, really, really mature, we might could put them in group 2. But they're both in kindergarten.
Yeah.
One was held back, and so they've got a long ways to go with development. Long ways to go. So I hated that we have to do it that way. They probably are having some of the same struggles in school, even though they were probably put in different classrooms. They're probably struggling because I think it's like even though they're in different classrooms, they probably still do stuff together because they're in the same grade.
Yeah.
And I can imagine how those teachers feel.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but I hope that she acts on this feeling because I do sometimes feel like she's tender, gentle, very gentle.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Lenny constantly will say, no. And so when I told him, I'm like, okay, you said no the last time. You were taking a day off, you know? And so I hope it got his attention. I really thought LaMarcus was dismissed last semester within like the second month. I really thought that would get his attention, but I don't know if it did or not.
I don't, and it's like they both have a meltdown at the same time, and you can't tell them anything. Like if I tell Lenny, hey buddy, I need you to sit on your bottom, like immediately shuts down.
He throws chairs.
And I'm like, and LaMarcus is the exact same way.
Now I will say,
And they're like, you're just picking on me, and I'm like, no, everybody, like that's our rule. Like,
that's the rules.
you know, have us stay seated while eating snack. That's our rule.
I think that there is something missing in the home life. I truly believe that because they do well when you wrap them up and you sit them in your lap. I think they're missing that. And bless her heart, she's a single mom with 4 kids.
Yeah.
And she works at KFC.
Yeah.
I mean, that's gotta be
I
hard.
think she's got more than one job.
Oh, does she?
Because she
What does she
came in,
do?
I don't know. She came. I don't remember what the uniform was that she came in on Friday. But yeah,
She
it
don't have a
wasn't-
second job.
Yeah, that's what
Well,
I'm saying.
and see, and this is what's happening as well. So last semester, there was a man, and Mr. Dalton, and he was living with them, and they thought that they were going to get married. I mean, that they had told the kids all of that. Well, Dalton left. Because I asked the kids when we started having program in January, I said, how's Mr. Dalton doing? Is he coming to pick you up tonight? And they said, Mr. Dalton left. Or Uncle Dalton left, I guess is what they call him. So now they're like having a transition of males in their life.
Yeah.
And who knows where their dads are?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, I feel for her because I was there,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I didn't have a Just Lead to, you know, help. And so I'm glad we can be that for her. And I really do think she's trying. I don't think it's just like a Gary's mom or a Kimani's mom, you know, like where we're telling them and they're like, oh, my baby can do no wrong, or they just don't care. Like, I think she takes it to heart, and I think she's doing the best that she can. And I'm glad we can be that for them. You know?
Oh yeah, and I think she is too. However, it's like I don't know about y'all, but when my teacher called my mom, if I misbehaved, I got a belt with him, a belt. And I know times are different, but at the same time, we can't just be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I just sometimes wonder if that's what's going on there, because the kids whose parents get onto them, they don't act like that.
Yeah, but also I do want to, you know, because I'm a parent and I've been there, like, she works hard, obviously, and so when she gets home and she hears that, she probably does more yelling than spanking because she's just so exhausted.
Yeah, I
Girl,
feel that.
I have
Yeah.
been there.
Oh, yeah.
And like with Rylan, you know, I was
yeah.
in the shelter, so I couldn't, you know.
Oh yeah,
I
you couldn't.
discipline him.
Yeah.
And so, and then he would come back and still misbehave. But, you know, I really do believe she's doing the best she can.
And that is a very unique situation. What you had, she lives in her own apartment.
Yeah.
Like if she wanted to spank her kids, she could. But at the same time, it's not up to me how everybody parents. Everybody parents differently, and I want to respect that.
Yeah.
However, I do think when you know that a certain standard is set and expectations are there for your child, you have to know that if I don't do something about it, then I'm going to lose this. I really do feel like we're privileged.
Oh, yeah.
I really do feel that way.
Yeah.
And I know that there's a lot of parents that feel that way. There's a lot, and we even came down on our cost last summer. We came down like $15, $20.
Yeah.
And that was a
We're
big
the
deal.
only site that has
Does
done
that. Right. So I'm like, you know, I just think that she could.
I'm sure. But you know what, Brittany? I really, you know, as much as I complain about those boys, you know, Latoya is, I mean, I think she makes up for,
Oh, she does.
you know, because she has, I never say anything to her. I never.
She
have to
never
say
does
I know.
anything.
It's
I
like
have to like get down to hear her speak.
Oh, so do
I
I.
can't hear her talk.
And then sometimes I'm like, what'd you say? And then I'll finally understand, or I pick out words that she said, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's very quiet.
I think she has a speech problem.
And I really think that our program is going to help these boys. I really do. Because we are so strict and we do expect them to behave a certain way. And if not, then come back and try next semester. And I feel like if LaMarcus gets expelled again, he should not be able to attend the summer program because it is a more fun program. And, you know, like, to me, that's like a privilege to be in the summer program, you know, because they get to do a whole lot more fun stuff. And if you can't trust him during the school year to behave, we're going to have him longer hours in the summertime.
I don't think our schedule is going to work for him in the summer or for their family. Because when they don't have school, she has a daycare she takes them to. I have a feeling that's what she's going to do for this summer. Or Boys and Girls Club, I don't know, something like that. Something that's like a 7 to 7. So I don't think they're going to be with us this summer. You know, I could be wrong. She could be really planning on it. But that's a thought. You can bring that up to Matt. That's a thought.
I don't know
But-
if Matt will go for that, but we can try.
You don't think?
He always shoots me down when I'm like, hey, Jack, this is a, you know, because he's so close to these families, and I'm like a little bit more removed than he is, and so I'm like, hey, they should go, and he's like, well, but let's think about it this way, and I'm like, man, I don't want to think about it.
I don't want to think about it that way. Well, you know, I do think it's important for us to remain objective.
Yeah.
Objective meaning like when we say that we're going to do this, we stick to that in all situations. And so what we have said, you get 3 suspension. On the 4th one, you're out for the rest of the semester, but you can come back the next one.
Yeah.
Now, I do think if he gets suspended again this semester, if he gets dismissed again, it might be a good idea if we're going to accept him back, have something in place for him. I don't know what it would be because I like the idea of a student contract, but I think it only works for some kids. LaMarcus is not going to care a thing about a student contract. He's not going to care. So,
They work on kids like Zyron. You know, like Zyron he is very structured, and if you got that in front of him and he knows like this is what's going to happen, then he's going to be on his P's and Q's. It's just like that paper that he wanted us to figure out. How was my behavior in this class? Like,
I know he never uses it. It's sitting in the office. He never uses it.
I know. So that was for kids like that. But Lydia and LaMarcus, like, and it's like they blow past their verbal warning in the first 5 seconds of being there, and so like they would never get, you know, playtime. They would be dismissed, you know, for every day if we followed that contract to the T. You know.
Oh, they would. I know they would. And so I do think it's important for us to, you know that we've made this discovery that they thrive off of physical touch. As in, like, if we know that we need to wrap them up and sit them on our laps and take a minute, it works.
And I think they just want to know that we love them because you know how they are when you give them praise. Oh my gosh!
They love it.
They love you. They'll give you a hug. I love you, Miss Sheila. I love you too, baby.
Yes.
You know, like I love that. So I think if we just keep working with them and letting you know, like, I care about you and this is why you have these rules, I think that it'll make that connection with them. Because it's really hard. I mean, because they're so young. You know, I think that's the biggest problem is that they're so young. And LaMarcus is in kindergarten for the first time. Like, we don't know what their home life is like. Like, you know, maybe there was absolutely zero structure. And now that it's so difficult to get that structure, you know, and get them accustomed to that.
Well, and then Lenny was held back. So he did not move on to 1st grade. He stayed back in kindergarten. So we have a lot of different things with that little family going on. But we need to remain objective. And then if this happens again, because we've never had a kid be dismissed twice. We've never had that happen. Well, Willie was dismissed once, but Mama got really upset about it and pulled the kids.
Yeah.
And so that's a different story there.
Yeah.
But you know what's interesting is that she called back and was like, hey, y'all had an amazing program, and we were like, that is not what you said 3 months ago. I wish y'all could have heard that conversation over the phone.
I wish I could have heard that conversation.
Oh, because I got an earful. I got an earful. Anyways, what time we got?
1:48.
Okay. All right, Hero, I'm going to stop the video right here. This should be good, and you can watch it and let me know when you watch it. Hope you have a good day at classes.